Hi, my name is Cold Beer, and let's start with Still Wakes the Deep. Here you are, an offshore oil rig worker, fighting for your life through a vicious storm, perilous surroundings, and the dark, freezing North Sea waters. As if that weren't enough, all lines of communication have been severed, and even that is not everything that went wrong. All exits are gone, and something just crawled aboard from the depths. Otherworldly cosmic horror now roams the rig, and you have to navigate this collapsing structure with hopes of saving your crew from a fate worse than death. So basically you will have to escape the place and avoid, distract and sneak around in best attempts to survive. This is an incredibly immersive Lovecraftian story that puts you in the seat of the protagonist. Be sure your mental balls are heavy, hairy and made of something hard to crack. This game is not a walk in the park, that's for sure. SpellForce 3 Soul Harvest. This game, just like Fallen God, is a standalone episode of SpellForce 3, meaning that you don't have to own the base game or even know the story very well. Here you are plunged in a war on many fronts. While some evil threatens to tear apart the Dwarven realm, an enigmatic cult of dark elves harvests the souls of people for reasons unknown. That is not cool, you have to stop it. You know, souls are like currency you can use to pay the devil for nice things, so all this soul harvesting stuff is like a bank robbery in my eyes. The game itself is a hybrid between RPG and RTS, meaning that you will have your heroes with various options and combinations on a skill tree and can amass your army like in any strategy game as well. The difference from 3rd Warcraft, for example, is that your heroes here are more like actual RPG heroes than just better units with more powerful skills. The story will take about 20 hours of your time, but if you want you can create your own maps as well. Black Skylands. This is a steampunk experience that combines elements of open world, sandbox, top-down shooter and action-adventure games. Here you'll become a skilled and valiant young sky marshal, fighting to protect your people from the invading bad guys. You will take command of your own airship and embark on a journey through a world of boundless skies. Gather resources to craft powerful weapons, upgrade your ship to new heights, unearth ancient secrets and engage in beautiful battles. When I played the alpha or demo version of this game a few years ago, I was really impressed by the style of the game. It surely draws inspiration from Hayao Miyazaki and his creations. Also, do yourself a favor and prepare for yourself some Abney Park, Steam Powered Giraffe and other soundtracks from steampunk bands. This way you can truly elevate your experience with Black Skylands, that's for sure. Asterigos, Curse of the Stars. In this high fantasy world you will discover the long-forgotten secrets, interesting battle encounters, interconnected maps full of places to explore, and an immersive story where every choice matters. The game is really fun if you like light Souls-like battles and can enjoy a bit of cartoony graphics, but not everything is nice. Game has no map, like at all, so you will have to remember all the places in your head. That of course creates another level of immersiveness because you will have to use your actual navigational senses you usually never use in games. But do we actually want that? I don't think so. Anyway, if you decide to obtain it, the game will take about 30 hours from your boring life. Expeditions Viking. Game description says, a small band of Norse warriors lands on the shores of England. History may have forgotten their names, but their actions live on. Well, as I always say, the actions Vikings made in real-life England involved a lot of pillaging and other crimes, like, you know, killing. So romantic and songs-worthy. Anyway, here's the newly appointed chieftain of a modest Viking clan. You'll have a village of your very own. But to carve your name into the runestones of history, you'll need great strength and great wealth to grow your village's prosperity. There is little left to be gained from the Norse lands, and so you must set your sights on the seas to the west, where tales speak of a great island filled with treasure and slaves ready for the taking. Game has a very positive review score on Steam, but there are also quite a few comments saying that the game is a bit too slow, you know, just like your sister. Deep Rock Galactic. This is a 1-to-4 players first-person shooter featuring badass space dwarfs and 100% destructible environments. Here you can play alone or work together with other players as a team to dig, explore and fight your way through a massive cave system filled with hordes of deadly enemies and valuable resources. Pick some powerful guns like flamethrowers, Gatling guns, portable platform launchers, and show those puny aliens who's the boss. Dwarfs may be small, but they are really powerful. We in Lithuania have a saying,
Neugis or smogis.
Meaning not the size, but the punch is what really matters. And your punch is really you know, probably weak in real world, but really impactful for the alien population in these dangerous caves. People on Steam are talking that there is no reason not to play this game, and I have to agree, show those monsters the true meaning of extinction.
Rock and stone, baby.
Last train home. You will embark on a desperate mission through the depths of a wasteland ravaged by war. Your goal is to guide Czechoslovak soldiers back to home on board an armored train. But the path ahead is fraught with peril. Caught in the middle of a brutal civil war between Russia's red and white armies, your unit must remain in fighting shape, managing what little resources you have and maintaining morale at all costs. Venture through the bleak and unforgiving landscape of Siberia, where the freezing cold and the merciless environment will push you to your very limit. Resources are scarce and your crew is exhausted, but you must never give up. All my life I rode made in Czechoslovakia trolleybuses in Vilnius. Some of them are still riding in the streets. They are like 50 years old and they still run. So one thing I'm completely sure about these guys: everything that's made in Czechoslovakia is unbreakable, except the country itself. What an irony. Devilated. As developers say, this is a bastard child of an old-school shooter and action RPGs, after snorting a line of raw, uncut hyper-violence. You'll shoot, slice and strike your way through a mysterious labyrinth, overflowing with bloodthirsty monsters out to tear you apart. You will unleash your style and savagery with a combo meter keeping score. Use the bodies of your enemies as living shields and then devour them for health. Slow down time to land every shot, or to simply appreciate gory poetry in motion, and equip a wide arsenal of everything from blades to rocket launchers, to let the world know that you will crush any opposition or position. Yeah, you don't care, all you want is blood, destruction and potato salad. Kynseed. In this life sim you will have to raise a family, farm the land, run shops and explore a world where everyone ages. Yes, here you will live your life in a quirky world where everyone dies at the end, including your pets. What a great idea to make everyone happy, right? Anyway, heroes here are just like degrading weapons in Dying Light. When you break one, you can just take another. So no reason to be sad, because when you die here you step into the shoes of your children and continue your legacy. And then you die again, and then you continue again. Cool thing is that developers are still updating the game and not just fixing various bugs, but also adding various fun things like farmhouse customization, new challenge system with rewards, story cutscenes and so on. On Steam, where it is possible to see playtime of reviewers, 100 hours is quite a casual thing. In general, this is a really cool spin on classic farming sim games, with so much to do and so much to see. From crafting and running a business to exploring the wilderness and meeting some marvelously malevolent monsters, Kynseed has it all. Desperados III. You can kill quietly with a knife or take out multiple foes with your revolvers. I especially like the knife part, it somehow feels more personal and, of course, requires more skill. Scenarios Desperados presents are far from cliché, situations are quite original but also familiar with a nice vibe of Wild West. I say vibe because here you will fight not only in small frontier towns, but also in creepy swamps, riverbanks and even in sprawling modern cities. Here you can choose between non-lethal and deadly attacks, meaning that you can finish the game without killing anyone. I have no idea why you may do that, it's boring. I live my real life without killing anyone. Why should I do the same where I am allowed to snap a neck or two? For example, I am against hunting for fun, but I play the hunter and I slaughter all the animals in the forest for pure entertainment. You know why? Because they are not real. Duh. Anyway, Desperados 3 is like an old good Commandos game, but modern with amazing visuals and great quality overall. Darksiders Genesis. This is a great game with great humor and very positive reviews on Steam. It is well balanced to play in co-op mode, but also fun in single player as well without any regrets. You, like me, probably have no friends anyway. Although I must warn you that here you'll do more shooting than bashing and slashing, but you will get a fair share of the latter as well. Gamers on Steam are praising the aesthetics, interesting story and fun gameplay, but are grumpy about controls and few almost unsolvable puzzles. Game has great graphics, a bit childish dialogues, terrible camera angles and no potato salad man class, which is a shame. Anyway, from me it gets 8 cold beers out of 10. Jagged Alliance 3. In the sequel of the legendary tactical strategy turn-based franchise, you can select from a huge cast of mercenaries, all with their own unique personalities, quirks and backstories. Then go out and explore the land as you meet new people, earn money, grow your team and ultimately make your own decisions that will decide the country's fate. Here you will also find a campaign that you can play alone or with friends in online co-op mode, control territory, train the locals, command multiple parties and defend against enemy forces in an alive and active world. You can customize your weaponry and even decide on the fate of the country in an open RPG structure. Honestly, I was really skeptical about the game's quality before the release, because sequels like that, especially after so many years, tend to flop, while most of them actually fail to live up to the expectations. And Jagged Alliance 3 wasn't anything like that. A very positive review score left by thousands of people proves that without a sweat. Deadside. This is a multiplayer shooter game set in an open world. Here you'll experience a realistic post-apocalyptic game environment filled with NPCs and real players. As developers say, Deadside is all about balancing the dynamics of a shooter and the hardcoreness of survival games. The world of the game focuses on realistic aspects of life with the ruins of dead civilization. You won't find any zombies here.
What?
Yeah, you heard right. The name of the game is Deadside, and it is without zombies. It seems that someone made a huge marketing mistake here. I clicked on the title especially because I thought, hey, a new zombie game, and it's not. It's like naming your game Best Race and putting no cars in it, or like naming it StarCraft and putting no crafting in it. Oh wait. Shut up. A bit less than 80% of reviews are positive. Honestly, not a bad result, really not bad. Against the Storm. This is a roguelite city builder set in a gloomy dark fantasy world. Artistically, this is one of the coolest RTS city builder games I have ever seen. The style is very original and the atmosphere is breathtaking. I didn't like only one thing. Here it never stops raining. I hate rain in real life because I wear glasses and this combo is never a good thing. But in game it feels like a never-ending visual interference. Some people may like it, some don't. So it's not a big deal in general. Anyway, here you are, a pioneer sent into the wilds to establish and manage new settlements inhabited by smart beavers, lizards and humans. Weird choice of races, but I really approve of that. I'm so tired of elves, dwarves and various combos of demons and undead. Lizards and beavers are awesome and you will feel like one of them. You will care about their survival, about their happiness and will protect them from danger. Well, not always. This is a roguelite after all, so the occasional defeat is programmed in the genre of the game. After a bitter end, the game will instantly offer you better buildings and devices, so your next run would be better, and the cycle continues until another bitter defeat. Your goal is to survive long enough and gather the valuable resources necessary to rebuild and upgrade your city. It's the only safe haven against the Blightstorm, a vile cycle of destruction ravaging everything in its path. On Steam it has above 90% of positive reviews, and I can give it 10 cold beers out of 10, without much doubt. And now thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.